My worst investment decisions of 2020. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor, and today we're going to speak about the two stocks in my portfolio that are red entering 2021. I'm not going to waste any time. They're right on the screen in front of you. One, we have MPLN, Multiplanet, and two, we have the famous / infamous Hylian. So 2020 was an amazing year for me. I mean, we made loads of good calls. We've made a very nice amount of money. And I'm quite happy to be finishing up my first year of investing with only two stocks that are in the red. And quite thankfully, both of these were small positions. I'm fully conscious of the fact that I'm a YouTuber and that I have influence on the investing decisions that people make, you know? It's the way the world works. No matter how many times I tell you I'm not a financial advisor, even if I make a clothing line to prove it, even if I tell you to form your own thoughts and opinions, I understand that people take influence from me, and I think it would be very ignorant to say otherwise. And on YouTube, we love showing off. I mean, we love showing our big wins. We love when we get a call right, because it gets respect. It gets people to trust us, which in turn leads to more views and more subscribers. And that's why YouTube's very cyclical. And you know, the YouTubers who were really big 2 or 3 months ago may not be very big right now. And that's why you always are seeing a new person pop up, because they make a really good call. But today I just want to keep it real with you guys. I mean, I'm very, very happy with how I performed in my first year. But there are two stocks I have that are in the red, and I still get asked about them an awful lot. And for the record, I'm still holding both of them. Today I want to focus on, you know, where I could have done better, what I've learned from both of these stocks. Because the thing is, guys, when you get something right, you don't necessarily learn anything. But when you get something wrong, there's always a lesson to be learned. I believe that goes for anything in life, not just stock market investing. So right before we do get into the video, I'll let you guys know what I've learned about these companies and how it's actually affected my portfolio in general. Can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button? Maybe drop me a comment down below. Let's be open, let's be honest here. What was your worst investment of 2020? And please, if you aren't new around here, hit that juicy red subscribe button. I'm always going to keep it real with you guys. And if you're interested, please hit the first link in the description. Sign up to my private Discord group. In there you get my buy and sell alerts. This probably isn't the best video to advertise on, seeing as I'm showing you guys my 2 losses for 2020. But there's over 600 investors in there. We have over 50 private channels. We make a lot of money in there, in all honesty. And we're doing a $1,000 cash giveaway. So, you know, more than my entire loss in these 2 stocks we're giving away. And if you're interested in a few free stocks, hit the second link in the description, sign up to Webull, deposit $100. Really is that simple, my friends. My full Hylian position is on the screen, and I am so happy to share this with you guys. You know why? It's my smallest position. I know I spoke about them a lot. I know a lot of YouTubers did, but I always said they were high risk in my opinion. I never thought these guys were a permanent solution. I thought they were a short-term solution. So you will see that I literally own 40 shares and I'm down 25%, which equates to 180 something euro, my friends. I don't want to get into the lessons too early, but this is why diversification is important. And then the second one is Multiplanet, okay? I do genuinely think that from a long-term perspective, these guys still are very undervalued. You'll see I'm actually down close to 32%, which equates to about 450 euro. So I mean, my 2 red stocks that I'm ending 2020 with, I've lost about 630 euro on. My ChargePoint covers that nearly 5 times over. My Tesla covers it a few times. My Neo covers it nearly 4 times. My penny stock that I invested in on Friday covers more than half of it. So yes, I've made a couple of bad calls, but I have made far more very good calls. Now we'll start off with Hylian, okay, because it's an EV stock. It was so exciting. And if you look at this stock chart, I mean, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy to look back on. And I always get those people like, Jack, why are you smiling when you're speaking about things like this? It's lessons learned, my friends. This is one of the most valuable things I had happen this year. So obviously, a lot of people got behind Hylian, okay? And there was a lot of hype coming up to the merger. What a lot of people need to do is bring themselves back in time and remember what actually happened. So this was one of the first EV SPACs that came out after Nikola. I think we all know what happened with Nikola. They went on a disgusting run. I think they're down 80-85% now from the all-time highs. And a lot of people began to think that that was going to happen to every single EV-related company. And the fact of the matter is, that's not how the market works. Now, I understood that from the very beginning. I understood that there was no guarantees. I was up, I think, 175% in this stock at one stage. I'm down 25% now. So I wouldn't say that was a lesson learned for me, because I never went into it thinking it was going to be the next Nikola. I didn't like Nikola, but I did like Hylian, and I still do like what they're doing, my friends. And that's why I haven't sold. Now, to be honest, the smallest position in my portfolio. It doesn't exactly show I have the most confidence in the world in the company. I just see better place to put my money, but I also don't think I need to sell. And I do believe I'll be green in this company again one day, and then I can decide if I want to buy more. Maybe fundamentals will have changed. Maybe they'll have a new big contract. Maybe they'll be working with a really big name. Or I can decide, you know what, I could put this money elsewhere it would be better off. I'll just sell out at my small gain. One lesson I learned is that if I speak about a stock on YouTube, even if it goes up 175%, and I know for a fact a lot of people made tens of thousands on this company, you're still going to get haters because they don't really look at the full picture. They don't actually look at the videos. They don't actually listen to me say that it was speculative from day one. Now, thankfully, it doesn't get to me anymore. I find it quite funny that people would have enough time in the day to do that. They're obviously not making much money elsewhere in the market. But simply put, guys, you're not going to get it right every single time. And that's one of the big lessons I've learned this year. And there is one extraordinarily clear example of this. I want to bring you guys back in time a little bit. Back to the start of May. Warren Buffett sold all of his airline stocks amid the Roni. He said, I made a mistake. Now, Warren Buffett is one of the single most respected, if not the single most respected investor in the entire world. When I started my investing journey, very soon I saw him admit to making a mistake. And I also saw him selling at what would end up to be an absolutely terrible time. And this was one of the big lessons I learned this year, is that no matter what, no matter how much work you put in, no matter how many 10Qs, 10Ks, how many deep dives you do, you're going to get some calls wrong. And I think that's fine. Any analyst in this entire world you look at, they have made some horrific calls. They are trained. They've probably been in the market longer than you're alive, and they're going to make some terrible calls. So of course you are, and of course I am. Warren Buffett essentially sold at the worst time possible, and he has a team who is worth billions and billions and billions. Warren Buffett essentially sold out at the very, very bottom. Since selling out, a lot of these airlines have gone up 70 to 100%. Yes, 70 to 100%. Warren Buffett lost out on billions and billions and billions of dollars in these airlines. So I figured out right there and then, making mistakes is fine. It's going to be a part of the journey, simply put. And I really think that's something you guys need to understand. No matter how much work you put in, no matter how much conviction you have, there will be times you make mistakes. I mean, if you're investing for 10, 15, 20 years, you will make bad calls and you will take some red. I guarantee it. I don't think there's anybody in this world who's never made a bad call. So this was a very speculative position for me. I had a small position. I'm down. It's fine. Now the next one, okay, was Multiplanet. This one actually taught me some probably more valuable lessons. It taught me that there's more to life than simply put valuations. On paper, it doesn't really make sense to me for this company to be trading at this price. I mean, they have a $5.33 billion market cap. They've processed over $100 billion worth of charges, okay? $19 billion in annualized savings delivered to their customers. They're looking at $1 billion of revenue this year, my friends. And this is an established company looking at $1 billion of revenue, trading at a 5-point-something billion dollar market cap. 1.2 million providers under contract. These guys had a $4.4 billion valuation in 2014. A $7.5 billion valuation in 2016, and they're looking at potentially an $11 billion valuation as of 2021. This one taught me a few things, and one of them is that, things don't have to make sense in the market. And I think it's easy to say that when we're looking at these EV stocks and we're looking at penny stocks, okay? Volume takes over, hype takes over, or else fear takes over. That didn't really happen with this company. It just didn't go the way we expected it to. And that's okay. If that happens 1 out of every 10 or 20 times and you're making 9 or 19 good calls, it's going to be absolutely fine. You're going to make poor calls is essentially what this video is coming down to. I'm still holding these guys long term, and this is one that I could see myself investing more in. Now, I'm not going to rush into it because I don't think, the slow days are over, or necessarily even the red days are over. I'm going to wait until fundamentals get better. I'm going to wait until bigger news comes out. But ultimately, do I think I'm redding these guys by the end of this year? No, not whatsoever. But both of these being red definitely did teach me the importance of diversification. That's something I've really been working on over the last 2 to 3 months. The guys in my Discord will be able to attribute to that. I've really been trying to branch out a little bit. I've been trying to branch out in multiple ways as well. As opposed to just long-term investing, I'm also trying to take some swing trades. Because, let me tell you, I've made some really good swing calls this year, and I haven't taken them myself, just because I labeled myself as a long-term investor. And I realized that was me being an idiot. You can do both, as long as you know the difference when you are buying that company. But aside from that, I focused on investing into new companies in different sectors, okay? So I'm diversifying my long-term growth portfolio. I don't have as much money in EV anymore. I have a lot of money in other industries. And that's what these two companies have really taught me here. But guys, they are my 2 worst investments of 2020. And as you can see, well, ChargePoint paid them off 5 times over. A lot of companies I've invested in paid them 2 or 3 times over. On Friday, I made half of that money back through a penny stock. It is what it is. Moral of the story is, when you make a bad decision, don't hold it against yourself. It's going to happen. I understand people bring it up more because I'm in the public eye, I'm making videos on it. I'm fine with it. You do you judge me as much as you want. But I know that the real followers, the people who've watched this video till the end, they understand that we've made a lot of really nice calls this year. Well, anyway, my friends, if you watch this video till the end, you are a true legend, and I really appreciate you being here from the bottom of my heart. Your support genuinely means the absolute world to me. If you did enjoy the video, if you enjoyed my honesty, could I please ask you to hit that juicy like button, maybe drop me a comment down below, and please do subscribe if you're new around here. And again, if you are interested in joining that private Discord group, I promise you we make good calls a lot more than bad calls, and there is over 600 investors in there, and I'm doing that $1,000 giveaway, and you get all my buy and sell alerts. If you want those free stocks, that's the second link in the description, my friends. I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day. I hope January's treating you well. I'll see you for another video very soon. Peace.